I'm a person of many different layers. I'm a creator, crafter, artist, and a friend to all. I love taking old clothes and making them into new creations. I use collaging as a creative outlet. I love reading and writing, and I love listening to stories. The research question that I chose for this project is, how does social media elevate my awareness of societal issues? I chose this question because I wanted to analyze my shift in awareness over the course of this project of the pressures, contradictions, and issues within the 21st century society that we live in. I wanted to pursue this question because the media can hold a lot of impact on my perception of my values. I gathered my data by seeing the shift of my social media consumption and how it changed during the course of this project. Some of the methods that I used to gather data consisted of who I followed, unfollowed, whose post I liked, whose post I didn't like, and whose post I reposted during the course of this project. I analyzed all my data that I collected through coding it by highlighting the words that were most prominent or stood out to me throughout the process. This allowed me to see a storyline of the most prominent words featured throughout my coding process, and ultimately helped me see a pattern that was developed within my data. I have discovered and learned a lot throughout this process. I have discovered new dimensions of who I am as a person and uncovered a lot about my social media use. I was surprised by this because I already thought I knew everything about myself, but I have found that I have uncovered new things about myself every single day throughout this process. My social media use has evolved to direct towards helping create change within our world. I went from editing photos of myself to change my appearance to reposting stories about activism and current events. My field report and research ultimately helped me realize and reevaluate what's actually important on social media and how I can be a part of changing that narrative. My research journey is important because it helped me define what my boundaries are and what my values are rooted in. These values consist of change, amplifying, and creating noise where it's needed. This research journey pointed out a lot of things that I needed to hear. My writing strictly identified how I evolved over the course of my field report. Whether it was growing in acceptance to myself, unfollowing useless users on social media, or finding my voice where it's needed in the path of change. Each person in this world is a contribution. It can be a contribution of hate or good, but it's up to me to decide what path my media takes.